Good morning and welcome back to my channel. So today we will begin lecture 55 of bio section. The title is Chromosomal Theory of Inheritance. In this video, I have clubbed three different sections from NCERT textbook. So highlight of this video is, in this video, you will understand why Mendel's work went unrecognized for almost 3 decades, and how chromosomal theory finally served as proof for Mendel's concept of factors. So basically, chromosomal theory, it helped to link Mendelian inheritance to the behavior of chromosomes during cell division. Okay, so identification of chromosome served as proof for Mendel's concept of factors. So there are three sections. The first section, we will understand why Mendel's work remained unrecognized. In the second section, we will understand the rediscovery of Mendel's work. And finally, in the third section, we will understand chromosomal theory of inheritance. So see, Mendel worked on hybridization experiments for 7 years, from 1856 to 1863. Okay, and then he compiled his data, analyzed them, and published in 1865. But despite all this hard work, his work remained unrecognized till 1900. So one by one, we will try to understand the reasons why his work remained unrecognized. Number one, the communication was not easy that time, and this is the reason it could not be widely publicized. The main hurdle was it is not given in NCERT, but Mendel published his work in German language. Okay, so this was the deterrent. This is the reason it could not be widely publicized. It could not reach to a lot of people around the world. Then, second, his concept of genes was not accepted by his contemporaries as an explanation for apparently continuous variations seen in nature. Okay, so he worked specifically on Pisum sativum, but he was trying to give a generalized foundational laws of inheritance. Okay, so there are certain exceptions we just saw yesterday. Polygenic inheritance, there are gradient, we don't have distinct contrasting features in every type of inheritance. Then third reason is Mendel's approach of using mathematics to explain biological phenomena was totally new and unacceptable to many of the biologists of his time. So see, this is something which is applicable to current times also. People think that mathematics and biology are two different subjects and they are distant apart, and they fail to see the relation between these two subjects. And the final major reason was Mendel could not provide any physical proof for the existence of factors or say what they were made of. Because he did basic gardening experiments, and at that time there were no microscopes or any technology to study molecular biology. So, this is the reason he could not provide any physical proof for the existence of factors. So, see, in science, the experimental proof matters a lot. You need to provide solid evidence to correlate your research findings. So, this last point was the major reason why his work remained unrecognized. So, now the next obvious question is what happened in 1900 and how his work was rediscovered? So see, three different scientists. These names are very important. De Vries, Correns, and von Tschermak. These were three different independent scientists, and they rediscovered Mendel's result on the inheritance of characters. And second important point is advancement in microscopy. So since we have already covered cell division, mitosis and meiosis, this will be easy for you to understand. See, the structures in nucleus, we are talking about chromosomes, they double during S phase and then they segregate during cell division. See, in 1902, the chromosome movement during meiosis had been worked out. Walter Sutton and Theodore Boveri noted that the behavior of chromosome was parallel to the behavior of genes and used chromosome movement to explain Mendel's law. So Mendel gave an abstract term factors to genes, and Sutton and Boveri they finally concluded those factors which were later called genes were present on chromosomes, and chromosomes actually move between gametes. Okay, they duplicate and they segregate and they are independently assorted to gametes. You can see here in G1 phase, these chromosomes are with single chromatids, and after S phase, they double, and after doubling, the cell division process happen. In meiosis 1, homologous chromosomes segregate, and then the chromatids separate in meiosis 2. Okay, and this is how haploid gametes are produced. See, later this work was done and all the genes were assigned to chromosomes, the 7 different characters which Mendel studied. So if you compare chromosomes and genes, both occur in pair, both segregate at the time of gamete formation. Independent pairs segregate independently of each other. So same description goes for genes and chromosome. So chromosomal theory basically it described the movement of chromosomes as a justification of movement of factors between gametes and between the subsequent generations. So this event is very important to justify law of independent assortment. So see, Mendel's law of independent assortment, it states when two pairs of traits are combined in a hybrid, segregation of one pair of character is independent of other pair of character. Now, how do you visualize this in the context of chromosomes? See this image. Here you can see orange and yellow colored chromosome. So there are two different possibilities. In the first possibility, the orange will segregate with green. Okay, so you will have gametes with orange and green chromosomes. There is another possibility that the orange can segregate with red. So this gamete will have orange and red chromosome. Okay, so this is called law of independent assortment. The segregation of this pair is independent of another pair present in the genome. So orange is free to segregate either with green or red. It is just a matter of chance. So this statement is important. Sutton and Boveri argued that pairing and separation of a pair of chromosome would lead to segregation of pair of factors. And the reason is these factors, which are now called genes, are present on chromosomes. So Sutton united the knowledge of chromosomal segregation with Mendelian principles and called it chromosomal theory of inheritance. After proposal of this theory, chromosomal theory of inheritance, the experimental verification was done by Thomas Hunt Morgan. So based on this statement, there is one single question on chromosomal theory of inheritance. This was asked in NEET 2020. Experimental verification of the chromosomal theory of inheritance was done by, the answer will be Morgan. So chromosomal theory of inheritance was proposed by Sutton and Boveri and experimental verification was given by Morgan. Okay, this is what you have to remember. So this was all about chromosomal theory of inheritance. In the next lecture, we will discuss about linkage and crossing over. Thanks a lot for watching my video and take good care of yourself.